You're about to hear the most informative, inspirational, persuasive show in America. The JR Hendrick School of
Yes, happy
Leadership.
Thursday, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm a day behind. Little catch of the bipolar and some other things went wrong. But I'm going to be doing Thursdays and Fridays together. But we're going to be doing some cutting edge news analysis. We're going to be talking about limited government, and so I'm handing things over to my alter ego, JR Hendrick. Take it away, JR. Alright. Let's go over to CBN News. Now, I agree with Jimmy. I was the one that consulted with him to look at the news and see what's going on for today. Let's see. No apologies from weaponized banks canceling faith groups. I want you to listen to this.
A growing number of Christian and conservative groups are facing a new kind of discrimination. Banks are closing their accounts, turning off payment processors, putting some on blacklists. What's even more troubling is that these actions are carried out under the cover of our federal banking laws. CBN's Dale Hurd reports on what's behind this growing trend.
Banking has become weaponized. Christian and conservative groups are labeled high risk and then debanked or denied financial services. Among the victims, Indigenous Advanced Ministries, which helps orphans and widows in Africa. Its account closed by Bank of America. Family Council of Arkansas, which works to promote traditional family values, canceled by J.P. Morgan Chase. And the Pro-Family Ruth Institute. It lost its payment processor after it was targeted by the Southern Poverty Law Center as a hate group.
The office manager received an email saying, "We're not going to do business with you anymore." She went right then and looked at our bank account, and it was gone. The credit card processing was gone.
And what qualified the Ruth Institute as an alleged hate group?
The dream of the Ruth Institute is that every child be welcomed into a loving home with their own mother and father married to each other.
Even the National Committee for Religious Freedom, a multi-faith organization headed by former U.S. Senator and Religious Freedom Ambassador Sam Brownback, had its bank account closed by J.P. Morgan Chase.
I went in to make a deposit at a branch here in Kansas about 3 or 4 weeks after we'd opened up the account, I think. And the teller there said, that account's been closed.
I've said that's enough. I'll tell you something. When I made the decision back in 2002, I could see that there were some issues going on with some of the banking laws of Wells Fargo. And I vowed I would never trust a big bank ever again. It's time to go for the smaller banks, folks. And anyway, let me tell you something. If the government is making laws targeting bankers, targeting Christian ministries, then it's time to slash the authority and scope of that government. Alright? Now, I'm not to make you mad, okay? Like Jimmy, I want to give you hope. So let's see if we can find another way where we can illustrate the need for limited government. Here's there. New bill pushes government to track down unaccompanied minors at risk of trafficking. Now, this is where the scope of government should be, instead of just targeting groups that disagree with them. Whatever in the heck happened to it. More like whatever the hell happened to agree to disagree. Now let's listen to this here.
Well, it's an ongoing effort to keep the most vulnerable safe when they cross into the United States.
To help stomp out modern-day slavery, new proposed legislation this week is asking the Biden administration to locate 85,000 unaccompanied migrant children it has lost contact with living in the United States. CBN Washington correspondent Hillary Powell sat down with the bill's author to discuss efforts on Capitol Hill to make sure all children in this country are protected equitably.
It's a homegrown issue that deprives children of their basic human rights.
At this very moment, there are children as young as 11 years old in the United States and abroad who are forced to commit commercial sex acts and other unspeakable acts.
New Jersey Congressman Chris Smith is concerned that some of those children not born in the U.S. are left out of the exploitation conversation.
Some, if not many, of these children are being forced into trafficking situations for either sex or labor or both.
That's why he just introduced the Secure Act bill that will require the Biden administration to locate 85,000 unaccompanied migrant children that are also unaccounted for in the United States. Given the serious nature of the situation, Representative Smith wants FBI involvement. Under the proposed Secure Act of 2023, the FBI and Homeland Security Secretary would work together to report to Congress on every unaccompanied minor cared for by the Office of Refugee Resettlement since January 2021. That's at least 345,000 young people. The bill seeks to penalize federal departments, including Homeland Security and the FBI, $100,000 for each day the required status report misses its deadline, up to $10 million annually until agencies adequately account for the missing children. Smith is leading congressional hearings this week where Tim Ballard, a hero depicted in the movie Sound of Freedom, testifies. At a press event, he spoke to why citizenship status isn't most important.
What does that unaccompanied child who's been abandoned, who's all alone, what does that child deserve? That child deserves to be protected.
Smith says he hopes the hearing will put more pressure on the White House.
You got to put partisanship aside and say, this is all about children. This is all about them being exploited in the most cruel way imaginable.
Sex trafficking survivor Jose Luis Alfaro testified this week that more safety officials need to be trained to treat all victims with empathy.
Human trafficking is not a gender-based issue, but a human issue. We have to identify vulnerabilities and intervene to support all children, no matter their gender, their race, or their sexuality.
In Washington, Hillary Powell, CBN.
And there you go. Let me tell you something. That should be a punch right there in the breadbasket to the Biden administration. I agree there, let's put petty politics aside for a darn change and let's go out there and make a difference. Limit the scope of what government can do, but we can do something about this. I hope you enjoy listening. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. Become a part of the James A. Hendrick School Leadership Classroom. Until next time, keep up. Listen, keep up your hope. Keep up your faith. And I want you to put down this in out of your soul. I keep this one until Jesus saves and I'm okay. So Jesus saves and we're all going to be okay. Take care and be proactively informed. God bless you. And remember this, in the bottom of our heart, we love you.